Hey guys, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Alex.
This is our puppy Paco.
And our van Olive.
And all together, we are F&A Vanlife. What's up everybody? Welcome to the inside of our van. We're going to start off right here in the front. Not only is this an awesome little seat where you can hang out and look out, but it is also our shower. So you just pop this top off and we have the base camp heater. With this shower here, we could pull it out and we could shower outside, or we could shower inside the van, and we'll get over to that. I know you guys are wondering, what? You could shower inside the van? But this right here allows us to be able to use the water from either our sink, or we could go to a river or a lake and we could pick up water from the river or lake and be able to utilize it and get a nice hot shower. Down here in this space is a little Paco drawer, and we also have a bunch of extra storage for cans, like canned goods, so that way if we ever need food, we have some canned goods down there ready to go at all times. So down here on the left side, actually, this doubles as two different things. One, these chairs in the front swivel around, so we needed our feet to be able to reach the ground. We're short, so we needed a little bump up. But not only is it a bump up, it's also shoe storage. So there's just two magnetic latches that hold it in place. It never falls off, but it's a great spot to store our shoes. So then we move back to the couch area where we could lounge out, hang out. It's an area where we could have people sit, hang out, chat. We have a bunch of different seats. 1, 2, 3, 4 people could sit up front here and hang out. But the cool part about this, it also doubles as our toilet and shower. So we just toss everything over here on the side. Get rid of it all. Everything gets thrown to the back. And then we open her up. And this is where we have our shower pan as well as our toilet. Our toilet is just a composting toilet. Ours is a glorified bucket. We don't have one of the nature heads or sea heads that are $1,000. We spent $120 and we're able to make a whole toilet setup back here. So we have a lid for the seat. And then you pop off the lid, and that's when you get to the goodies. So we have a urine diverter in here. The urine diverter is a Johnny Compost urine diverter that costs us $120. When we do the number 2, we throw some dirt inside the bag. We go to the bathroom, and then we fill it with more dirt on top. It kills all the smell, and it allows it to be composted. Or we could dump it in a pit toilet or dig a hole and dump it. We don't necessarily need to pull the bag out every time and throw it out. The bag is only if we're in like cities and we need to actually toss it into a regular dumpster. Up here in this little front spot, we actually put the dirt in this spot here. We made an official dirt holder, so that way we don't have to put the dirt in the back or store it somewhere. It's just nice and easy. And we have our little scooper right here. You scoop the dirt right out, throw it right on top, and you're good to go. What we did with this box is we flex sealed the whole entire box. So that way we don't have to worry about the water getting out or draining through the holes. We sealed it up really, really well. That way when we want to take a shower in here, we could put these little magnetic hooks that go onto the ceiling, and we put out a curtain, and this whole space becomes a shower. Alex and I are both small people, so it's a big enough shower for us. It is kind of like a we help each other shower type of thing. So it's I guess it's a little bit more intimate than most showers. Up here in the front, like I said, both of these seats swivel. So Paco's in this one, so we're going to give you a little view of Paco. Your big debut, buddy. So there he is. This pulls forward, and then you set up. We would push this all the way over or take it off and clip it up top. There's a little magnet there that holds it, but we're not utilizing it right now. It is great because it opens up the space a lot. It allows you to kind of hang out and see everything you got back here. You can always open up the back doors if there's a beautiful view. In the summertime, normally the side door is open, the back door is open, everything's open. That way you get nice, good, fresh air and beautiful views. Almost 360 degrees around your rig. Alex and I went on our first date, and I told her I was going to travel. I actually invited her with me, and she was probably like, this guy's nuts.
Yeah, when he first proposed the idea of traveling together on our first date, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome, but I'd also just met him and was kind of like, I probably shouldn't agree to things an hour after meeting somebody. But it did plant a seed in my mind, and I was like, oh, well, what would that look like? And what would long-term travel be? And, you know, it kind of sent me down this rabbit hole that I didn't even know van life existed. Moving into the kitchen, we have tons of storage. Our 2 upper cabinets were actually made by a fabricator here in Ontario. His name is Andy. His company is called Overland Interiors. They're these really sweet cabinets. They are laser cut, and so this one is all of our electronics. We've added an extra shelf into all of the cupboards just to give ourselves another level of storing things. Back over here is all of my toiletry stuff. It's a little bit of a disaster. But everything in here will shift while you're driving too. So you kind of need to make sure before you just open the cupboard really quickly that, you know, you can kind of snake a hand in and make sure nothing's going to fall out. And also don't put anything that's super breakable up there. Our wall over here, all of our art is by friends and family. This is from the Pine Bones, Frank's aunt. I made that little one. A friend of ours painted Paco's little silhouette here, which is really beautiful. And then another friend painted this painting, which is actually a secret storage spot for our cell phone booster. So we just have this velcroed up on the wall, and then built back into it is our cell phone booster. There's one component in the front, this component here, and then the antenna up on the roof. Usually whatever was living on the counter before we started driving ends up in these cabinets right here. It's a little bit of a catch-all. We're definitely going to line them in fabric eventually. We just haven't got around to it. But they are useful. More useful than a banana hammock. I'll say that much.
This week's video is sponsored by Skillshare. It's the new year, and that means it's time to follow through with that resolution. And honestly, it doesn't have to be a difficult change. With Skillshare, you can make that new resolution a reality. They have everything from productivity, illustration, baking, and even how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Your resolution might even be a big idea, so that's why I'm recommending a class I'm taking by Kate Arends. 5 exercises to make your big goal a reality. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, so there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes. The first 1,000 subscribers to use the link in the description below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Happy learning.
Coming down a little bit lower, all of the countertops in here are just really basic plywood with an epoxy pour finish. So we did a dirty pour for all of the countertops and the table in the back. It turned out really beautifully. It was our first time ever doing it, and honestly, I'm amazed that it looks so good, but it really does, and we love the effect. This first drawer here, they're very big and deep. This one is all of our cutlery and kitchen utensils. Ooh. This one is kind of our junk drawer, random knickknacks. I don't know, everybody's got a junk drawer. It's just all the random things in your house that don't have anywhere else to live. We have our real tall cupboard here. It needs a little finesse. So this is our sliding pantry here. This was really important to me to be able to have all of the spices and flours and things like that. I love to cook, and so having everything that I need to cook a delicious meal on hand is wonderful. Speaking of cooking delicious food, we need somewhere to store it all, which is why we have our Iceco fridge right down here. Slide it all the way out. Unlock the hinges, and you've got your fridge. This is a 63 liter. Right now it's pretty empty. We need to hit the store. And the nice thing about our space being so wide is that the fridge can be out and you can still have enough room to walk around the space. So it doesn't completely impede your ability to move in your home. So we, started making the YouTube videos, continued making the YouTube videos.
Yeah, we continued making YouTube videos, and then it started to pay off. Because we were also doing tours as well, like you guys are doing. Yeah, to kind of summarize it, savings at first, we saved for a year of travel, then we started making money on the road, and then we diversified that money on the road to where we have several different avenues of income coming in.
Over on this side of the kitchen, we have another upper. This one is a double wide, which has a bunch of pantry items, all of our dishes, which are non-breakable, coffee, peanut butter, stuff like that. And our toothbrushes live in here as well, because the kitchen also doubles as the bathroom. So you're going to have a little bit of toiletries mixed in with your food. And that's just how van life is. For the sink, we have a faucet that comes all the way out. This is great if you want to rinse things off or also fill your Berkey. We do have a water filtration system on all of the water that comes in from the back. We have a 40-liter tank. Liter?
40 gallons.
We have a 40-gallon tank in the back that feeds to this faucet. Of course, the water is filtered before it comes in, and we also have a filter underneath. But for our drinking water, we like to take the extra step of pushing it through the Berkey. Honestly, we just love the taste of it, and also the added benefit of knowing that anything that might be in there isn't in there anymore. One of the most important features of this area is the teeny tiny little soap pump over here. It's really nice to have easy access to your soap at all times without having to go underneath and find it, because you cannot leave anything on your counters when you drive. If you have a soap bottle up there, it's not going to be up there when you get to your destination. So having the soap pump here is very useful. Back here also we have the remote control for our heater. We have a gasoline heater that's tapped in right to our gas tank for the vehicle. It works so well. It's a knockoff Webasto, so it was half the price, and the instructions were all in Russian, but it works very well. Over here we have our cooktop. I love cooking with fire. This is propane. It's a double burner. Honestly, I really only use the front burner 90% of the time, but I couldn't really find a one burner that I liked the way that it looked and fit in the space, so we ended up with the two burner, which is great. We do have a magnetic knife lock here. This apparently is very dangerous to have in the van, so if you have knives up here and you get into a car accident, those knives will go flying and could end up hurting you. So we don't use it for knives so much anymore, and we're looking to start our magnet collection, so if you have any sweet magnets, let us know. Moving down below, this is kind of like the biggest catch-all storage area, as most under sink areas are. On this side, we have all of our water filtration, plumbing, garbage, fire extinguisher, pots, pans. We have a bunch of safety gear, first aid kit, all of your medicine cabinet stuff. We have a nice tall shelf down there. And then on this side, we have our propane tank. And on top of that, we have this sweet basket that has more kitchen stuff in it. Even lower than that is our tow kick storage area.
All right, so we're going to bring you to the back area. This is the dinette area, a place where we hang out and play cards and stuff, where we meet people on the road. We love to host. So the idea of the second van was not to have the platform bed and have the U-shaped couch area that breaks down into the bed area. For us, this was so important, and I can understand why others go with that platform bed, but we love this setup. We also have this beautiful ceiling area where we have these strips of wood with the recessed lighting in it. The great part about the recessed lighting is that it's indirect light, and the tin ceiling that's white really helps reflect the light throughout the space. We didn't want those puck lights. The lighting is so direct that it killed our eyes on our first van. So this was a big upgrade that we felt we had to make that was necessary, and we absolutely love it. Also in this back area, underneath my feet, is the 40-gallon water tank. So this area right here, the reason why this is raised up is because we have a flat water tank, so that way we can utilize all the water in that tank. It is slightly put up on an angle, and then I piped everything from the top down. That way we can get every little last ounce of water if we need. Down here in this area we have our switches. The top switch is for our inverter charger. This shows you how much battery we have in our bank, as well as down here we have our pep wave and our cell booster. And then down here is a switch for our pump. You always want to have a switch for your pump, just in case you run out of water. You could kill your switch and you don't overrun your pump or run it dry and kill your pump. So it's very important to have a switch on that. Also in this back area is storage up top. The storage up top is all of our clothes. It's basically 3/4 Alex storage because she has way more clothes than I do. But this whole back area here, as you could see, we've organized it to where we've utilized shoe racks that you'd put shoes in normally. We folded them in half and cut them so we could use it throughout the space. And they normally fit about 3 or 4 shirts in each little hole. and it keeps it very nice and organized and gives us the ability to have a lot of clothes in such a small storage space. So this table is also just an epoxy pour on a 1/2-inch ply. We absolutely love it. I would say we're going to get a different mount because it is a little bit wobbly. So I think we'll wind up going with one of the larger pedestal mounts that then also drops down on its own and falls directly into the spot. That way it makes it a lot easier to set up the bed. Lifts right up nice and easy. I like to put it against the wall like so and then push the button in and turn it. Sometimes it's a 2-man job with this bad boy. So if I could get you help here.
You want to push this?
Yeah, just push the button and then it rotates right off. So with Alex, it's really simple. I just have her normally hit the button. There are times where I don't have to. I'm going to set this on the side so I can show you guys the storage area underneath the space. If we just lift up right here, that gives us storage space. We have a lot of different like clothes. We have a mat that we put out front when we're parked in a place for a little bit. We have our moonshade back here, as well as all of our electrical sits on this side. We have 3 100 amp hour lithium ion batteries. Down in this space also is our heater. You can't really see it because we have some stuff stacked above it. I built a little platform. That way when I put stuff down, it doesn't crush the pipe coming out. You can see right here on this front face, that's where our heat comes out from our heater. And then on this side over here, we have some more storage as well. Lift it up. So on this side, we have some like important documents. I have 4 snowboards back here, snowboard helmets, and I'm going to show you how the bed sets up. It's really pretty simple. You just take this here. I found a little trick that I like to lift up the one side with the board, and then I lay it down flat and just slide it right over, and she's in place. So we take one of the cushions from the back there, and we have a full bed set up. So right when you unzip this throw pillow, guess what's inside? It's a surprise. It's one of our bed pillows that we put in here. So that way it utilizes as storage for that bed pillow. So that way it doesn't look funky back there. Also, one thing we absolutely love while we're laying in bed, once again, is that skylight. You can see right out. When you have nice clear nights, we could look up and watch the stars and just hang out. It's really peaceful.
Our friends and family are actually pretty on board with the whole thing. I mean, a lot of them would not want it for themselves, and so there's that little bit of a barrier in terms of like, oh, I don't know how you could do that because I could never do that. But generally, they're happy for us. They like following along. They think it's cool to see the pictures and the videos from all these neat places.
This beauty right here is Olive, our van. She's a RAM Promaster 3500 extended. We want to get the extended version because we wanted the biggest van possible with the Promaster. We want to have as much space as we could have in the van, knowing that we live all 4 seasons in it. We also had to upgrade our tires because we like to go everywhere off-road. We have the BF Goodrich KO2s. They've been a huge upgrade to our van. When we had the regular tires on it, the street tires, we kind of slid every time we would go up a steep hill. This took it away completely. And then as we moved down, we installed the CL Lawrence windows. We want to feel more open, but we didn't want to have too many windows. Up top here on the roof, we have a Pep Wave, which is a Wi-Fi creator. We also have the deck. It's a cedar deck. We can hang out. We have 2 small ones in the front and 1 big deck in the back. We also have 390 watts of solar. We use Grape Solar for our panels. They're an Oregon-based company. We want to kind of keep everything US-based if we could, because that's where we're building it, and that's where I'm from originally. On the back here, we have a second window. This is right by the bed, so we could open up the window and create some airflow. There's a fan up there as well. That way, when we turn on that fan, you can either pull the air out and pull the air through the window, or you could do it in the reverse and push the air in and it comes out your windows. On the opposite side, we have 1 more window just like so. The only thing I would change is I would put one of the windows back further. That way you have the ultimate ability to create airflow in the space. I'm going to take you guys into the back so that way you could see that water tank and you could see all the storage we have back here. So both of these doors just flop right open. It's a little bit messy because we have quite a bit of stuff. I wanted to take all the snowboard gear and get that ready because the winter's coming around. So I got Alex's boots back here, my boots right behind it, so that way they're easy to access when we're about to hit the mountain. Just below that, we have the 40-gallon water tank. I set up the the fill right here on the side, so that way it's easy to fill. I have an air breather, and it normally takes us about 2.5 weeks to get through 40 gallons of water. I know that seems like we don't use a lot of water, but we drink water all day, every day, and we're just very conservative when we are washing our dishes. Over on this right side here, we have the power breaker for the 120, inverter charger hookup, batteries, little secret little spot right here for where we hooked up our 30 amp plug. That way nobody knows it's really even there or an option. Same for this side here. This side here we have some tools and some goodies. We have our winter clothes in this bag here that we're about to switch over any day now, and some more lighting right now just stuffed in the back for when we get back down to the Brooklyn area. I'm gonna install all that. First I want to surprise my family though. Back here we have some hooks on the back door, as well as this beautiful wood back here. This is the same wood that's on the walls in our space. Once again, shoe racks are your friend. We use shoe racks in the back here to create more storage space, whether it's for shoes, for basketballs that you have to deflate if you want to play. We got frisbees back here, disc golf. I got a glove if anybody ever wants to play catch. Haven't found that person yet, but somebody eventually is going to be like, you know what, we can have a catch. And then on this side over here, we also have more shoe storage. We have a little extra propane if we need it. If that propane in the front ever goes out, we could just throw this on there. We also have a little camp stove for outside, which I have stored away. If we're ever going to go on a hike somewhere, we have a tent, and we could tent out and, you know, have the little cook stove with us. We have some magnetic hangers back here for our big floppy hats, and that's pretty much the back storage. When you're in your 30s, it's normally very hard to meet new friends, right? But when you're in your 30s and you live in van life, you meet new friends pretty often. It's almost like the opportunities are endless if you're open to them.